Hey, welcome back to the show. Before we dive into today's episode, I got to share something super fun with you. So, I just got back from a podcast conference in Maryland, just right outside of Washington, D.C., and it was such a great time. I learned so much about podcasting and YouTube and having our show on YouTube and all the channels. But I learned of a really awesome feature we could add to our description of our podcast episodes. And it's a little note that says, send us a text message and suggest a topic or guest. So, guess what? You can go right now to the description of this episode, just scroll down on your phone or your computer, and there's a message that says, send us a text message and suggest a topic or guest. That will send me a direct message from you. So they call it fan mail. Okay. We've been on the waves for 2 years, the radio waves, I call them, the podcasting waves. And it's so fun to be out and about in the community, hearing from people who say, Jordan, I love that podcast episode you did on self-care. Or, I love episode 13 with Dr. Leonard Sachs. Well, guess what? You don't have to wait to see me in person now. You can just send me a quick text message. It's a one-way, one directional message. And I can find out right from you, after you've listened to the episode, what you liked about it or what guest or content or show that you would like to hear next. So please, I love to hear from you, and your suggestions matter. And also, I want to thank you for sharing our episodes. Our downloads are growing by leaps and bounds every episode. And it's because of you, because of word of mouth. When you listen to an episode that you like and you're sharing it through a text message or forwarding on our weekly email newsletters to people, that more and more people are listening. So if you like the show, I really recommend that you give us a rating and a review right on Apple or Spotify. That helps us. When you do that, that helps our show go up in the search ratings. So if somebody's searching for a parenting or family podcast, the Families of Character show will come up in the SEO. So please, if you like what you're hearing, we would appreciate a rating and review. All right, let's move on. Did you listen to episode 115, Tips for Getting Back into the School Routine? In that episode, I gave strategies for making really meaningful connections with your kids for a smooth transition back to school. So if you haven't listened to that one, I want you to check it out. And if you're listening sometime in the middle of the school year, trust me, all the tips will still be valuable for you to make a good connection with your kids on a daily basis, those 9 special minutes of your child's day. But this episode is about you. The back to school season can be really hectic. New schedules, activities, responsibilities, right? Well, in this episode, we're going to explore 10 practical self-care tips that a busy parent like you can easily incorporate into your daily routines to maintain balance and well-being during this season of family life. But first, let's talk about why it's actually important for you to prioritize self-care during the back-to-school season. First of all, to prevent burnout. I've been a mental health counselor for 20 years, and burnout is real. The back-to-school season is demanding, and without self-care, the stress and the constant busyness can quickly lead to burnout, and even worse, a mental breakdown. So prioritizing self-care helps you to manage your stress levels, ensuring that you remain energized and capable of handling all the challenges of the season. And let's face it, there are a lot of them. Second of all, self-care enhances your emotional resilience. So that ability to bounce back from stressful situations. So taking time for self-care activities like prayer, exercise, relaxation, that actually boosts emotional resilience. This means that you are better equipped to stay patient, to stay calm and responsive during stressful moments, which is crucial for maintaining a positive and peaceful household environment. And third, when you prioritize self-care, you're modeling healthy habits for your children. That's what we're all about here at Families of Character, is raising kids of good character. And that happens through what we model for them. When you take care of yourself, you're modeling the importance of balance and well-being for your kids. And when you take care of yourself, they witness this, and then they start doing this themselves. So your own healthy habits really model for your kids the value of taking care of themselves and helping them develop healthy habits that will benefit them throughout their lives. And then finally, a reason that we take care of ourselves is because our mandate or our direction for self-care, what our creator says about this topic, can be found in the Bible, where we're told that our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, and we must therefore honor God with our bodies. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 6, 19 and 20. Caring for our physical selves begins with the basics: eating nutritious food, getting adequate sleep, and keeping physically active. But most of all, allowing ourselves to have downtime. Now, listen, if you didn't grow up with a role model who showed you how to eat well, how to rest and recharge, and that isn't something that, you're used to, this might feel really impossible. Sometimes we grow up in an environment where productivity is prioritized over self-care. And then we grow up realizing, that, or feeling guilty when we take care of ourselves and prioritize our own needs. So that's why I wanted to dedicate an episode to share some simple, easy ways to manage life and to take care of yourselves so that you have, that's why I wanted to share simple, easy to implement ways to get started taking care of yourself as a parent. So let's dive into these 10 self-care tips, reminding ourselves that we have a duty to take good care of ourselves and that it is not selfish to prioritize self-care. It's necessary. First self-care tip: a morning ritual reset. Okay, if summer was crazy for you and you kind of got up whenever the wind blew or the sun rose or whatever, day to day, maybe you need a morning ritual reset. I recommend starting your day with just a simple 5-minute morning ritual, whether it's stretching, deep breathing, sipping your coffee quietly, or writing 3 things you're grateful for. This short routine can really set a positive tone for the day ahead. 5 minutes right when you wake up. Now, the benefit of this is that when you have a morning ritual and you stick to it, you're filling your cup so that you have something to pour out for your spouse and kids. And when you create new morning habits, you're building character in yourself. Why? Because you're saying no to things like snoozing the alarm and having a varied wake up time, which you might prefer to do, in order to say yes to something that might be difficult at first, but worth it in the long run. You are prioritizing you. You're putting on the oxygen mask before trying to help your child. So 5-minute morning ritual reset. Second, plan ahead for you time. Just like you plan your kids' school week and their sports activities, you've got to plan your self-care activities. Schedule a 30-minute activity just for you, whether it's a walk, a hobby, or simply resting. There's nothing wrong with a nap. Put it on the calendar. We talk about this all the time in our couples coaching, our Thriving Family Accelerator, about how if it's not on your calendar, it's not going to happen. So plan a time for you to do something for yourself. Put that in your schedule. Number 3, create a family wind down routine. Okay, now we're talking about the evening. Establish a calming evening routine for your whole family that includes quiet time. This not only helps your kids wind down, but it gives you a chance to relax as well. And this is funny, but the name matters. Don't tell the kids that it's time for them to wind down. Kids love knowing that you're going to join them and that it's a family thing. So get your spouse on board to help reinforce this idea that everyone's going to have a wind down routine. It always helps when everyone is on the same page. So create a family wind down routine and just call it that. Okay, it's family wind down time. Everybody's starting to calm down for the evening. Lights are low, and you're getting ready to move into your bedtime routine. Number 4, digital detox time. Set a specific time in the evening to unplug from your phone and social media. I can't tell you how beneficial this is. This will set you free to give yourself a digital detox time. Use that time to read, to journal, or to connect with your spouse. Enjoy a quiet moment without distractions every day. In episode 101, called The Intimacy Crisis, with our guest Joey Odom, he and I talked about how to prioritize your family over your phone. And there's a statistic, and it shows that we touch our phones more in one day than we do our spouse in an entire week. Set digital detox time every night and stick to it. Again, get your spouse to buy in and get each other's, support and be each other's accountability partner and call it that. Call it our digital detox time. Remember, a name matters. Number 5, delegate to elevate. What does this mean? Do not be afraid to ask for help. This, my friends, is paramount to self-care. We must have the humility to ask for help. So delegate tasks like preparing lunches to your kids, right? Organizing school supplies. Ask your spouse to pitch in on helping the kids with homework at night, right? Or even consider a carpool rotation with other parents. Just because you live, only a couple miles from the school doesn't mean that you have to drive the kids to the school every day. Maybe you and someone in your neighborhood can take turns. And instead of you driving to school that day, you get your 30-minute walk around the neighborhood. Ask for help. We are not meant to do this parenting thing alone. It is crucial to your mental health to ask for help. So delegate to elevate your sanity. And number 6, pack your own snack. Parents, man, we've spent all this time focusing on what our kids are going to eat and how we're going to try to have protein-rich snacks for them and have a snack in the car for them. But what are we doing? We're running on fumes. Pack your own snack. Prepare a healthy snack for yourself when you're prepping the kids' lunches or you're having your kids prep their own lunches. Having nutritious options on hand helps you avoid reaching for that junk food during the day that's going to make you fall into the afternoon slump and reduce your productivity and just kind of reduce your overall mood. If you're working from home, pack what you plan to eat for lunch and snacks and put that in a special place in the fridge where it's easy to locate so you won't be tempted to go for something less nutritious that's not going to sustain you. So do yourself a favor and pack your own snack and pack a healthy lunch for yourself. You are worth this. Okay, number 7, practice gratitude, and practice that with your family. Incorporate a quick gratitude exercise into your daily routine with your kids. Reflecting on positive moments together improves everyone's mood and it strengthens your bond. It can be as simple as taking the lead to list off 3 things you're grateful for while you're driving to school or eating breakfast together. If you just simply lead this exercise without even teeing it up, just saying, you know what, I'm so grateful that I got 5 hours of sleep last night. And I'm really, really grateful that today I have a break coming at 10:30 a.m. And you know what? I'm come to think about it, I'm grateful that we have the ability to buy some good groceries and have a nice meal for dinner tonight. All of a sudden, your kids are going to start telling you what they're grateful for just because they're following suit. So, gratitude changes the attitude. It helps fill your cup. This is considered self-care. Verbalizing the things that you're grateful for really amps up the positivity like tenfold over just simply thinking about what you are grateful for. I've had this habit for over a year now. I don't allow myself to actually get out of my bed until I've come up with 3 things to be grateful for first thing in the morning, and it makes all the difference. So, gratitude. Number 8, movement breaks. We've got to move our bodies. This is great self-care. You know, I love it when I'm driving through a business park and I see a group of employees walking around the block together. What a fabulous way to do a mental reset and to get the blood flowing and to get some energy back is to move your body. So whether it's a quick walk, stretching, or even a dance break, moving your body helps release that tension and boosts energy. So there are many days when I'm just sort of like at my wit's end, or I'm feeling overwhelmed by something, or I just feel like I am out of energy and I don't want another cup of coffee or energy drink or something to try to like rev myself up. I just drop down and do 5 push-ups to reset my thought process and get the blood pumping. I'm not saying they're good looking military style push-ups, but I will drop and do 5 push-ups. And it's a great way to just reduce anxiety and give yourself a little energy boost. And you know what you can do? You can take a video of yourself doing this or a picture and just text it to one of your friends. This helps them come up with an idea of what they can do if they're feeling like they're in a slump as well. You can be accountability partners. It helps to motivate other people to show them what you're up to. And then, you know, switch it up and have them move their bodies too. So movement breaks. So important. 9, keep a simplified schedule. This probably should have been number 1 on this list of self-care tips, but resist the urge to overschedule. Keep your calendar really simple. As a mom of 3, I have an 18, a 12, and a 10-year-old. If I could go back and tell my younger self anything as a mom, it would be to keep a simple schedule, leaving room for downtime. This again is going to prevent burnout and create space for spontaneous fun or relaxation. Okay. I love to give myself 24 hours at least before deciding whether to say yes or no to something so that I can really properly assess my calendar and ensure it's not going to override my self care. Saying no to things means you're really able to protect your self-care time, meaning that you're able to give more to your spouse and your kids. And that is our primary vocation, moms and dads, is to serve our spouse and our children first. So resist that urge to overschedule. Do not feel guilty about saying no to things, even though they're good things. Helper at school, making brownies for the next thing, It's okay to say no today because there's going to be a day when your time frees up a little bit more, your kids have moved on, and you have time and energy to help in those ways. You're not saying no forever, you're just saying no for now. And number 10, celebrate small wins. I just had Nikki Schotter on the show talking about gardening. And she was talking about how she and her husband have planted this beautiful garden. And this is one of the things they do for a living. And the deer ate their garden. And this had been like a year in the works, planning for this beautiful bounty. And the deer found a way to jump over the fence that they had built to prevent the deer from getting in. And the one thing that really saved their spirit was just to celebrate the small wins. So every day her husband would verbalize out loud and write down one little win they had for the day. So they're able to get back up and try again. So acknowledge and celebrate small accomplishments, both for yourself and for your kids. It can be getting through the day without stress or completing a task you've been putting off. If we don't celebrate our wins, we end up developing this deficit mindset where everything seems really hard and like this uphill battle. So don't be shy about celebrating any small victory you've had throughout the day. Again, in our coaching program, I'll ask parents to share one win, one personal win or one win they've had as a family. And if you scan your mind and go on the hunt for a win in your day, you're going to notice many more than just one. But you got to train your mind to go on the hunt to find the win. You know, I had a super tough day the other day. And one of the things I identified as a win was that I stayed on the phone and navigated a really difficult customer service call and figured out how to change something on our website that really needed an edit. And I figured it out on my own. So, you know what? Count it, say it aloud, celebrate your wins. So, parents, I want you to know that, we celebrate our wins every Sunday during our weekly family huddles. When we're rallying together as a united team over at the Langdon House so that we can review the upcoming calendar for the week and then set a goal to work towards, we also like to talk about our wins during this special family time. It may be 30 minutes to an hour every Sunday for these weekly huddles. But if you want your family to truly feel like you're winning as a family and that everyone is pitching in and helping out with joy, I want you to access the free resource that we have created for you to help you get your family huddle started this week. We have a free guide on our website at familiesofcharacter.com. It's right there. It says, get our guide. You can go there, hit the button, and get started with just 3 simple steps today. And you too can be on your way to more peace and order in your home. Also, listen, now that we've gone over these 10 self-care tips, if you are interested in amping up the self-care, I want you to revisit or listen for the first time to episode 110. That's 110 with Sarah Paxton. She's a health coach that we had on the show, and she offers very practical advice for busy parents to start improving their nutrition in order to be healthy leaders in their homes. So that's episode 110 of our show. I want you to kick the guilt to the curb about self-care. Self-care is absolutely necessary. It's necessary to the satisfaction and the connection in your marriage, and it is necessary to be able to be a peaceful and responsive parent. I want you to kick the guilt to the curb about prioritizing self-care. You prioritizing yourself means that you are being a faithful follower. You're doing what you've been commanded to do. It's to take care of your body so that you can take care of your spouse and your kids. Amp up your self-care. You are truly worth it. Listen, I'm going to catch you on another episode of our show real soon. Take care.